The fakery for me is the fakery.
You lie a lot. Then she throws stones and she hides her hands, and I don't like that about her. I'm not even go back for her. I'm not even taking a kiss for her. Meaning she's acting fake. She doesn't care about other people. She cares about herself.
For real, this is what you do to a friend like Dr. Rommel. Don't stress, don't fuss. Bundle him up like a used and rejected wig. Wrap him up nice and easy. Get you a trash bag. Yeah, a proper trash bag. Throw him in, wrap him up, and throw him in the trash. Yeah, that's what you do. You trash him away. Because guys, I still can't wrap my head around what exactly Faith did to Dr. Rommel. Because the switch up on this episode of the Real Housewives of Lagos was real. Guys, the switch up was just so sudden. I was quite confused. The betrayal, that was deep. Left for me, that friendship is dead. That friendship is over. But let's take it that it's a show, right? It's a show. So I mean, anything goes. Anything will happen. They'll definitely sit down to have conversations. But left to me, the friendship is over. We're not talking. We're not having conversation. You're dead to me. It's over. You're dead. You're gone. And that is it. Done and dusted. Because when you talk about someone throwing someone under the bus without reason, even if there's a reason, yeah, without a prior conversation, guys, that was worse. That was more like throwing fate under a moving aircraft. That is instant murder. Guys, I can't deal. Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Gloria Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah, and I am the girl with the tea. Now, as you can tell, guys, I'm back home, and the first thing I did was to rush over to Showmax to catch up with the 5th episode of the Real Housewives of Lagos. And guys, I was literally gagging all through. See, at some point, I was so furious. And quite shocked that Dr. Rommel was just comfortably, eagerly betraying Faith. Like, guys, it felt like this man had been waiting for that moment all his life.
So I thought you guys were like, I thought so too. But we're like this now. Like right now, you can't even.
It felt like he had been waiting for that opportunity all his life. And guys, see, I still feel like it still boils down to the explanation I shared with all of you on my review of the previous 2 episodes. For those of you that still haven't caught on to my review, I will make reference to the explanation I gave, yes. And definitely someone had actually given me a heads up that, oh, Glory, watch out. Dr. Rommel is going to do XYZ to Faith. And guys, because I already developed a soft spot for him, you know, right from the very first episode of this season, I was just telling myself that, nah, I'm not going to be too quick to judge or to accept this person's perception about Dr. Rommel. Let me just watch the show for myself. And that's what I've been doing. And lo and behold, oh my God, the betrayal on this episode, guys, it was deep. It was so deep. And so we're going to get into this particular episode. We're going to analyze it scene by scene as usual. And let me put this disclaimer out there that my analysis will be based as usual on what is shown on the show. All right? I'm going to be spilling. And of course, I know that you all have your own opinion. So I will be looking forward to all of that in the comment section below of this video, right? And quick reminder that tomorrow being Saturday by 3 p.m. WAT, we're going to be converging here as usual for our Saturday YouTube live stream. I have missed you all so much. I cannot wait to catch up with all of you tomorrow during our virtual conversation. So please make sure you come through. Do not miss out. There is a lot to talk about, all right? Now, if you're yet to become a part of this community officially, please do not hesitate to do exactly what you see on your screen. Kindly subscribe. Make sure you also turn on your post notification bell to always receive alerts of my videos whenever I upload a new one. Now, all of that said, let's quickly run off into the details of this analysis. First off, the start of this episode was quite hilarious. I mean, watching Mariam soaking up in a bathtub after a very hectic and dramatic night with Faith. Watching her soaking up in that bathtub, having facial therapy, I think she was actually wearing a face mask, sipping juice or wine or whatever that was, calling her sister to complain about the negativity, you know, that had been displayed by Faith the previous night, guys. Acting like, oh my God, I am so exhausted. Oh my God, I'm so stressed. I have been really stressed. Guys, it was so hilarious. I mean, I was just over here. I was just looking at her. I'm like, look at you. Look at you. You caused all that drama. Single-handedly was trying to fight, although you were cowering away from the fight because you knew that your energy could not match up to Faith's energy because we saw you behaving like a coward. Guys, I'm like, look at you. After doing all of that, raising all of that dust, threatening fire and brimstone, you're sitting down here, acting like the victim, acting like you were just on your own or you did not do anything wrong, and then Faith Morey came to come and give you problem. Ha! Mariam! But then during her confessional, she had said that if it was about disrupting Iyabo's event, that she felt bad about it, but not about the way she had behaved towards Faith. Guys, for real, I have no words for Mariam at this point in time. But at the same time, while she was having that phone conversation with her sister, Faith was equally having a phone conversation with her brother, I think Victor. She had opened up to him just a bit about what had happened, but she had not really spilled all the details. Because according to him, if she did, he would come drag her out of that resort. Now, for Faith, she regretted responding to Mariam or even engaging in all of that bickering because she realized that she had contributed in disrupting Iyabo's event, and so she hoped to make amends with Iyabo later. Now, Dr. Rommel arrived at the resort and Iyabo was super excited. And guys, it was quite shocking that almost immediately, just as expected, because I kind of expected that Iyabo was going to start the gossip about Faith, Iyabo started the gossip anyways. But then I was quite shocked at how eager Dr. Rommel was to give information, you know, about his friend, his supposed confidant to Iyabo, whom they both do not really know.
Tina is showing me the same thing she did to me. Yes. Meaning she's acting fake. She doesn't care about other people. She cares about herself. And I have to understand how.
I mean, Dr. Rommel is actually aware of the fact that Faith is just meeting these women for the first time, as introduced to her by Laura. Yes, so he's fully aware of the situation. And guys, if you recall previous episodes, you would have seen how Dr. Rommel was equally eager to want to slander these women without even meeting them for the first time. And Faith had actually been very, very quick to shut him up, to shut him down, you know, and had not given him room to speak any negativity about these women. I mean, Iyabo had said that Mariam had apologized, but she did not hear Faith apologize. Dr. Rommel had been very quick to, you know, concur by saying that, oh, that's the problem he has with Faith, that she does not like saying sorry, she does not like apologizing, that he's gonna have to talk to her about it. Like acting like this friend that really cares about a friend's, you know, fault or flaw. Guys, I was quite shocked that he was corroborating Iyabo's claims. Dr. Rommel had literally taken over that conversation, spilling and spilling and spilling, and saying a lot of things about Faith, talking about how, oh, that is how Faith is, that she has done the same thing to him before, she's betrayed him. Talked about how, oh, she's proud, she doesn't check on people, this is what she does, blah, blah, blah. And Iyabo was already saying during her confessionals that, oh, if your friend is saying such a thing about you, then it means you are proud. I'm like, Iyabo, it's not about Faith being proud. It's about you being insecure. It's about you feeling intimidated by a young woman that knows how to carry herself with so much class and grace. You've seen that this person is not that one person that is going to at all, you know, kiss your ass or maybe chase you around like a headless chicken. So it's a problem for you already. And for you, you're seeing that as pride. You're not seeing that as a woman who is completely self-aware and also knows how to carry herself. So guys, that aside for Iyabo, I mean, I did not really expect anything less than that, but it got to the point where Iyabo finally opened her mouth and said what we all knew was part of our problem.
You come into a palace of queens.
Yeah.
And you wanna
take the throne? The title? She wants to take the crown.
You're done. You have to earn. You have to earn the crown. You have to come humble. You have to get to know them, then plan your strategy and see how you take the crown.
She went on to say that that Faith just came into the group and she's trying to come and take charge as the queen instead of her to walk towards, instead of her to chill, look around and then strategize. Guys, even Iyabo using that word strategy, guys, it was a completely turn off for me because it made me wonder, like, I don't understand. Is this BB Niger? I don't get. Is this BB Niger? Is this a competition? What does Faith need strategy for? You know, like, are you people paying the queen of this so-called circle? What do you mean by, oh, she should have strategized better? And you see, yeah, while she was saying what she was saying, Dr. Rommel was agreeing. He was, in fact, adding fuel to the fire. And then during his confessional, he was making a mockery of Iyabo's rationale. Yeah, he saw the clear competition and he was laughing about it. He was like, oh, so Iyabo is already intimidated that Faith is coming to take the crown. Guys, it was in that instant that all what I have been saying about Dr. Rommel and his so-called strategy made complete sense to even me myself. Because it was very obvious that this man was in this group, in this clique, you know, to score his own agenda. Yes, Dr. Rommel is a businessman. And guys, much later in the episode, it completely proved that the man was equally all about his business, yes, to get the crowd other than just having one friend that is not even based in Nigeria. Because guys, Dr. Rommel launched his clinic, I think last week or 2 weeks ago. And from the people that attended that event, you can tell that it was really on about society women, you know, men that had the money to pay for his services. And he would rather have all the other women in the clique on his side than having just Faith on his side. Because guys, we all know that Faith is not 100% based in Nigeria. She's based abroad. So he knows the market properly. He knows the circle of Lagos women, rich Lagos women, influential Lagos women that's got connection. He knows how this thing is done. So for him, he doesn't mind sacrificing his friendship with Faith to get that result, that patronage for his business. And guys, I said it before, we're going to explain further. Let's quickly continue to the next scene. Laura arrived at the resort. Now, before she arrived, she had called Faith, and Faith was quite relieved, you know, to be speaking with Laura. And they had talked and talked, getting all excited up until Laura arrived at the resort, and it was Faith that went to welcome Laura. Now, that left me wondering why it wasn't Iyabo that went to welcome Laura. But then fine, it's quite understandable because Iyabo wasn't expecting Laura to even attend, yes. But then Faith was quite excited to see Laura. In fact, they were quite excited to see each other, and Laura was already, you know, waiting to hear what had actually happened between Faith and Mariam. And Faith had actually shared, and Laura was quite, you know, she was quite taken aback because for her, why was Mariam fighting for her? Like, who exactly was Mariam fighting for anyways? Because the Mariam herself does not particularly like her. That's like her Laura. So why was Mariam even acting like she even really cared about her? Now, Faith had gone ahead to reveal that that night on the previous episode, you know, when Mariam was bragging that she had done her findings about Faith, that she knows who Faith had been sleeping with, or calling Faith a whore and all whatnot. According to Faith, Mariam had actually named 3 names. Guys, And you see, production did not show us, when Mariam was actually calling those names. But according to Faith, Mariam should have at least gone ahead to mention 100. And guys, I totally agree, because you call yourself a publicist and all whatnot, but you seem to have a lot of time on your hands to go digging deep into someone's background, to check who the person's exes are. And guys, I don't know, but it just made me wonder, like, oh wow, really, Mariam? Now, it was the next scene that Dr. Rommel really started working harder than the devil to really drag Faith, like he literally went on a smear campaign, full-time smear campaign against Faith. And guys, it was really ugly. It was really ugly. Now, Iyabo had invited him and Toyin to pottery class. And guys, I must confess, that pottery class was just very dry, because even the Iyabo that invited these two people out, she did not really look excited, about it. And immediately they were done, she had taken her leave. According to her, she wanted to go and take care of things, ahead of that evening's dinner event. And guys, for me, it was just drab. And I was wondering, okay, why didn't you invite Chioma? At least when you're with Chioma, you're always overly over the moon. Like maybe there's something, maybe you're probably high on the friendship. But anyways, she had left them. And that was where the conversation ensued between Dr. Rommel and Toyin about the fact that Faith was yet to apologize to Iyabo. Now, it was Dr. Rommel that was sort of insisting, that, oh, maybe we should go and bring both of them together so that Faith will apologize. It's not nice that she's not apologizing, blah, blah, blah. And I love the fact that Toyin maintained a stance that, look, Faith is not a child. She's an adult. Faith will do what Faith wants to do. And then Dr. Rommel was going on and on about, oh, he doesn't know why Faith is doing whatever. And Toyin was like, well, Faith is a bad person, that it doesn't really matter to her. For her, she's getting to know Faith, and so she's not going to allow these people's perception about Faith, to tamper with what she is getting to know about Faith.
This time around, I'm not going to get myself. But I'm not really happy with her. You say she's my friend and my friend. She's not. She's my friend, I thought, but now I'm beginning to think.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey.
She also stabbed me in the back. What did you do?
It was the moment Dr. Rommel called Faith fake that I started losing it. Because when he gave the reason, guys, the reason was so flimsy. It was so flimsy. I mean, I was even expecting him to say that, oh, we're not even friends. We just met yesterday. But he did not cite any example as such. It was just going on and on. Oh, she's just fake. She's just fake. And I'm like, okay, fine, let's hear it. How exactly and what exactly makes Faith Morey fake? And then it started with their event, that event where he came to display that ridiculous dance move that, got us entertained, but was still quite ridiculous in itself. He talked about how, that she messed up their event, she was late, that she spent so much time having a long bath. And I'm like, isn't that a private information about your friend that you shouldn't even be releasing to people? Guys, let me even finish first. Toyin tried making an excuse for Faith by, echoing what Faith had said at her event, that she was trying to bring her mom, that she had a situation going on at that point in time. But Dr. Rommel immediately interrupted. I was saying that, oh, it's a lie, that Faith did not care about anybody. She did not even care about her mom, her brother, not even his guests, that it was his own people that were taking care of Faith's mom, that she just kept everybody waiting, she did not care about anybody else, that she was just doing whatever she was doing, blah, 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 that he was so disappointed, that it made it look like he was the one that was delaying the whole thing, that it was actually Faith. And then he brought on the part where he had been looking for a volunteer to, experiment or to give a demonstration about how fillers are done. And guys, if you all recall, I think that was episode 3 where Laura had volunteered to be the person that he would use for that demonstration. And Faith had said that, oh no, don't touch Laura's face. A doctor just touched her face, so you will not touch her face, right? Now, he had cited that scenario as an example of Faith being selfish and trying to make Laura look bad, that he had gone ahead to do the filler procedure for Laura because he saw that Laura was not happy and was trying to make Laura feel better, that he doesn't just like people that behave like that, people that want to take all the shine. This man was just saying a lot of things, and it wasn't just about the things, the allegations that he was just, layering upon Faith's name and personality. Guys, it was the way he was telling it.
I don't like that we're hosting a party and you're messing it up. You're not showing up, you're not showing accountability, you don't give a damn.
Plus Dr. Rume, plus Faith.
Hey. Fake.
Are you serious?
She's fake.
And Toyin was shocked. Toyin was really shocked and kind of disappointed that you don't even know me and you're so eager and willing to spill all of this information about your friend. Why not have this conversation with your friend instead of talking to me? Guys, I just totally loved Toyin's reaction at that point in time. And she was giving it to him back that, okay, this one you're saying, I did not see it. Oh, I'm trying to get to know Faith and I'm getting to know her better. So for now, all these things you're saying, I haven't seen it. I'm seeing an entirely different personality. And guys, as I said before, I just loved the fact that Toyin maintained her stance to Dr. Rommel because it was very obvious that he was trying to convince and sway Toyin, you know, that, oh, Faith is not a good person. Faith does not deserve to be you people's friends. I'm the one that actually deserves to be you people's friend. Faith is not loyal. Faith is very selfish, does not care about anybody else other than herself. And Toyin just kept on countering and countering and countering. And guys, in as much as I was enjoying, you know, the fact that she had a mind of her own in that conversation, her confessionals were quite hilarious. And guys, it just made me love Toyin all the more this season. I don't know if there's another side of Toyin that's going to completely switch up on Faith or any other person, but the Toyin, the Tiana that I am seeing, that I am experiencing this season, I am completely loving her. Not because of anything else, but because she came with a mind of her own this season. She came with her stance. She came with this personality of nobody is going to tell me trash about somebody else and I'm going to sit down there and swallow it all up, hook, line, and sinker without me experiencing that person for myself and coming up with my own perception about that person. And guys, I really appreciate her for that this season. The next scene was such a disappointment. So it was supposed to be an open-minded conversation between Faith and Chioma, yeah? But just as expected, Chioma came prepared to defend all of the other ladies' actions. She came prepared to defend Iyabo. And guys, I just could not miss the hypocrisy right there in Chioma's explanations. Why? Because in the first scene of episode 4, we had seen and listened to the conversation between Chioma and Iyabo about Mariam, and both of them had actually concluded in that conversation that Mariam was fake because they just could not place where she was. But in that whole drama between Faith and Mariam, you could see how they were both, that's Iyabo and Chioma, you could see how they were both hasty to taking Mariam's side. Why? Because they had both, in a way, concluded in their mind that Faith was a competition that should be eliminated or suppressed in that circle. Yes. And so the fact that Mariam had positioned herself as the weapon fashioned against Faith in that group, they were very hasty to, you know, taking forces or pairing up with Mariam, you know, in other words, being behind Mariam, pushing her on, you know, to fight that fight that they really want to fight against Faith. So guys, listening to Chioma, you know, defending Iyabo in that conversation, guys, it just made me feel like, okay, this is such a waste. Faith should not have even bothered because she was explaining what had happened at Chioma's event, how the ladies had literally jumped on her to call Laura, like they were stakeholders in her relationship with Laura. Chioma had listened to it because initially she was talking as if she knew the genesis of all the drama. But then Faith had taken out time, calmly explained to her how the whole thing had started. She had listened, that you could tell that there was this guilt written on her face that, oh, okay, these people actually started antagonizing this woman. But just to make it look like, okay, oh, fine, I'm not going to take your side. I'm not going to betray Iyabo for you. She had thrown that under the carpet. She had given deaf ears to that. And she had gone on to exonerate Iyabo, talking about how, oh, Iyabo is always the peacemaker. I know she is the eldest of all of us and she likes to be respected, blah, blah, blah. Oh, Iyabo is not going to get angry for no reason. She gets angry with reason. I'm like, oh, wow, Chioma, this is not the Chioma that actually joined the show from season 1. The Chioma that joined the show from season 1 actually had a mind of her own in a way. The Chioma that joined from season 1 would not condone such ratchet behavior as displayed by Iyabo and Mariam over an issue that they have no business, dragging. Not over Faith's friendship with Laura. But here we have her now, Chioma, playing to the gallery of Iyabo and Mariam. I mean, guys, as I said before, I just felt like that conversation was a waste. And I love the fact that Faith was very, very calm all through that conversation. And she said it to Chioma that she was going to apologize to Iyabo. And you could see from Chioma's face that she does not intend, like she doesn't even want Faith to apologize. She would rather have that and that whole situation continue. Fast forward to later that evening, it was Iyabo's African-themed dinner party. And I must confess, the setup was looking amazing. Everything was looking regal. I absolutely loved it, yes. However, oh God. The first interaction between Iyabo, Mariam, and Faith, guys, it left me in stitches. Not because Faith was ridiculous, but because that interaction completely exposed Iyabo's, how do I put it now? It just completely exposed Iyabo's, okay, let me put it this way. It completely exposed the reason, or should I say the rivalry, the reason for the rivalry between Iyabo and Faith, or Iyabo towards Faith, because Faith obviously has nothing against Iyabo. Yes, it is Iyabo towards Faith. So Mariam had walked into the venue first. There was Iyabo there already, making sure that everything was prim and proper. And then Mariam had walked in, said hello to Iyabo, all those there. And then Iyabo was like, oh, don't cause any drama tonight. Oh. And Mariam was like, oh, I've got you. I'm like, okay. So Mariam had flown away like a bird to her seat. Then Faith was the second to arrive, and she did not even sit down. She just went straight to Iyabo to apologize. Now, before she even got to where Iyabo was already rolling her eyes and making ugly faces. Anyways, Faith had gone to Iyabo and had apologized, for disrupting her event the previous night, and had, promised that she would ensure that there was no drama, that hopefully there was no further drama, that they all had fun. So she had apologized, and you could tell that the apology was heartfelt. But while she was speaking, Mariam was busy making faces. Iyabo was, and guys, I was quite disappointed because I actually expected better. As one who is the oldest, that glorifies herself and has placed herself on this very, very ridiculously high pedestal as the oldest in the group, I was kind of expecting some sort of maybe understanding, a bit more grace from her towards Faith. But guys, you could tell that there was more to it, because she did not even open her mouth to say, oh, apology accepted or anything. Guys, she gave off this air of she does not even want the apology. She wanted the animosity to continue. Anyways, Faith said during her confessional that she does not care whether Iyabo received the apology or not, but she meant it, and she hoped that there was no further drama. So she had gone to sit down. Now, guys, I read that whole situation, and what I could deduce from it was that Iyabo does not rate Mariam's capacity to be a competition. Iyabo does not rate Mariam as a competition. Instead, Iyabo sees Faith as the biggest competition and threat to her in that group. Iyabo has seen and recognized that Faith has got something about her that will not make her bow to anybody, that will not make her kiss ass, that will not make her bootlick anybody for favors. Why? Because she's a woman of her own, she's a queen that she calls herself, and she's got her own mind. And so there's nothing that Iyabo has that Faith really wants. Even the collaboration with her daughter. If Faith decides today that she's not going to go ahead with that collaboration, she will still be Faith Morey. She'll still be rich. She'll still have a mind of her own. So Iyabo sees all of that. And guys, it feels like for her, it would be better to be enemies, to be rivals with Faith, than to be friends with Faith, with someone whom she feels and has perceived, wants to take over her queenship throne, if such exists. And guys, I was really disappointed. The next scene was Dr. Rommel making it official to the ladies that he was against Faith. Yes.
I'm saying hi to everybody at this party tonight. I'm not gonna say hi to Faith because I'm not feeling her right now. I don't fake all those, seeing somebody faking it. Later on, I'm gonna find a corner and talk to her before I say hello to her. My hello will come later on as a goodbye.
Guys, oh God, it was so ridiculous. Hence the question of what exactly did Faith do to Dr. Rommel? Aside what he complained about, oh, she messed up the event, blah, blah, blah. What exactly did Faith do to Dr. Rommel to warrant this level of rivalry? Because it just did not make sense. It was quite entertaining to watch, I'm not gonna lie, but in reality, since it's a reality TV series, right? Make it make sense, guys, because it did not make sense. So during this confessional, he was already talking about, oh, yes, that he's not going to greet Faith. He's not going to say hello to her. That the hi he's going to say is going to come much later and it's going to be a goodbye. And then he said he was going to go ahead to say hello to all the ladies there except Faith. And that was exactly what he did.
I was going to do that to everybody, but I'm gonna hurry up and do my greetings and say happy belated birthday.
Guys, trust Faith to keep her bitch resting face. She didn't even flinch. She was just... But then during her confessional, she was like, nah, this is supposed to be a girl's trip and not a boy's trip. Men are not supposed to be here. And when she said that, it also gave me the vibe of, okay, maybe something had actually transpired between both of them that we do not yet know about. And I am hoping that production would show it to us. Or probably maybe in the next episode where they were having conversations, maybe we're going to hear what really happened between both of them in their next conversation. But for that moment, guys, it just does not really make sense. Because Dr. Rommel quickly, breezed away after doing all his greetings, went to go sit, and the ladies were already excited. Iyabo was quite the most excited person right there. Mariam, Iyabo, Tania, what's her name again? Chioma, they were already excited. In fact, Iyabo was actually the most excited. According to her, she's not going to fight with Faith anymore because now she has somebody that's going to be fighting with Faith on her behalf. And I'm like, oh, wow. There are probably a lot of conversations happening amongst these women that we, the viewers, do not really know about. Because for Iyabo to have made that statement, there's a possibility that in that conversation with Dr. Rommel, when he arrived at the resort, there's probably something that has been exchanged. Oh, antagonize this girl for me, antagonize your friend, or probably betray your friend for me, and that connection that you're looking for in your business, I'm going to give it to you. Guys, I'm thinking about something in those lines, but I don't know what it is. But whatever it is that made Iyabo to make that statement, guys, it was quite fishy. And I know it's not something good. Yeah, at least for the friendship between Dr. Rommel and Faith. That's the reason Dr. Rommel was just so comfortable, doing what he did. But anyways, as I said before, Faith did not flinch. She was completely unbothered. The party started in full swing with a game. Iyabo had written some proverbs on a piece of paper and had placed it beneath the seats of each of the women. And then she had instructed that they picked it up and then they would read it out in English and then read it out in their native dialect. And it was supposed to be fun, right? Because, a lot of the women, they enjoy speaking Fone. And Mariam was getting already excited, about it. And of course, we know who she was directing that excitement at, that, oh, all those people that enjoy speaking Fune, blah, 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 they were going to see how they would, expose all of them at that moment. Anyways, Mariam started. And for someone that was quite excited to share other people, she too, missed it. She did not get it 100%. Then it was Laura's turn, and guys, I don't understand the Igbo language, but it actually seemed like she did well. And whilst everybody was giving her accolades, Dr. Rommel, during his confessional, was, scoring her a 3, talking about how he would do better than her. And I'm like, hi, this man with pepper body, you just want to prove a point. Guys, it was just being overly competitive. But anyways, it was Faith's turn, and she opened up to them that she does not really know how to speak her dialect, yes, but she was going to go ahead to read it out in English. Guys, the judgment. The judgment was just flowing in from left, right, and center.
I think you're a liar.
It's not possible. You cannot not know anything. I refuse to believe that. It's just not something that makes sense to me.
Mariam was already calling Faith fake. Because for her, how can you not, know how to speak your dialect? For Iyabo, oh, you left Nigeria at the age of 19 for the Americas. How can you say you don't know how to speak your dialect? Blah, blah, blah. It's a lie. That Faith is fake. She was already concluding, just as she had done before. Chioma too could not, accept it. Oh, it's a lie. That was also Tania. That one carried the matter on her head like fried puff puff. Oh, it's a lie. It's impossible. It's impossible. Blah, 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 blah. And guys, I was just looking at these women. Oh, before I even talk about my own opinion, guys, there was also Dr. Rommel. Dr. Rommel said it's a bloody lie. Now, that gave me questions because, okay, fine. She's probably spoken the dialect in front of Dr. Rommel before. But guys, let's talk about these women's claims that it's impossible, that Faith is being fake, and Faith is lying. Now, whether Faith is being all of that, I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know any of these women from Adam, so I don't know what, who they are on, outside the show and whatnot. But one thing I know for a fact is that it's actually possible for someone to have grown up in their own town and not be able to speak their dialect. Guys, it's possible. I use myself as an example. I am an Akwa Ibom girl. I grew up in Lagos. I have parents that speak my dialect. But as old as I am, I'm in my 30s, I'm not proud about it, but I don't know how to fluently speak my dialects. I don't even know how to recite ABC in my dialect. I don't even know how to, count 1, 2, 3 in my dialect. I don't even know how to speak a full-blown sentence in my dialect. I can pick words one by one, but I don't know all the words that makes up the vocabulary bank of my dialect. That is there. I've lived in Lagos for almost all my life, but I don't know how to speak Yoruba. I don't. I can pick maybe 1 or 2 or 3 words, but I don't even have like a full-blown vocabulary bank that's made up of Yoruba languages. I served in the North, and the entire 1 year I spent in the North. Guys, I could not even learn Hausa, not to talk about learning Fulfulde. That's the Fulani language there. But call me for English, guys. I can speak English with my full chest. I will scatter English, I'll murder English. In fact, it's even topsy with the fact that I actually studied English and literature in school. Pidgin, I can speak Pidgin, but I am not 100% fluent in Pidgin. And I tweeted about this. And guys, I said, listen, people can be put in any environment if they do not show keen interest to learn something. Trust me, they will not learn. People can actually learn and unlearn things. Yes. People say that, oh, it's a lie. There's no way you can be in an environment and not know a language. The language will just come to you. Yes, you will listen because conversations might be had around you. Yes, but the truth is, if you do not set your mind to it, if you don't even have that skill, that gift to learn that language, trust me, I don't think you can. If there's any doctor here, any speech therapist or anybody that's a language expert that actually knows how this thing works, please, I would love your own opinion about it. But this is just me saying that I've been in different environments. I travel, but it's not here to learn those languages. And the truth is, I really don't indicate that interest to learn. My parents communicated with I and my siblings in our dialect, and sometimes they communicate in English because, our head was never really there. And then Dr. Rommel was busy shading Faith, right? Because she read it out in English. He was busy shading her and saying, oh, they should give her Udo, meaning 0, in Yoruba. And guys, I just felt like that was just so childish, very childish. And it reeked of so much desperation, right? He was even giving a high five to, was it Iyabo or whoever? He was actually giving a high five to someone. Okay, I think Toyin. Like, it was just so desperate. Like, you could tell that this guy was really desperately trying, you know, to impress these other women, except Faith. He was really desperately trying to get into their circle, to get into their minds, to work his way into their sentiment, you know, for them to see him as one who is actually loyal, which I've actually explained to all of you guys that it's actually something that's very, very typical, you know, about people that are social climbers, people that really want to desperately belong to a very, very high social circle. And that was exactly what Dr. Rommel was just displaying in this particular episode. And they had another game where the ladies had been given different papers to pick, and different characters had been written on the paper for them to act out. And it was quite a fun, you know, game. And there was Faith that was supposed to act as a wife who had caught her cheating husband with his side chick. Chioma was the side chick, Dr. Rommel was the cheating husband. And Faith had embodied the role as she would embody it in real life. For her, she's not a chaotic person. She's not a fighter. So she's not going to fight. She's always going to be cool, calm, and collected. And that was how she interpreted that role. Chioma, on the other hand, played her role to perfection as a side chick. Even the ladies were having, you know, a good laugh about it. Toyin, for one, was saying during her confessional that the way Chioma is acting, she's acting like a real side chick. Iyabo shared the same sentiments. Dr. Rommel too. I mean, everybody was so convinced by Chioma's act. But then when it was time to score the women, according to how they performed, Tania's excuse for why she did not think Faith should have won that round is because as a wife, if truly she was a wife, that she should give more drama than what she actually gave, that she should have been more dramatic, you know, that a wife she should have let go of herself, that it's because she's not being true to herself, that she's not being real. I'm like, Tania. So because you've seen a lot of women who actually go crazy, who fight on the streets, who fight at supermarkets, you know, when they catch their wives or rather their husbands with their side chick, you actually think all women should actually be like that. Or probably that is how you would actually behave, or probably you've actually behaved like that before, right? So you actually expect Faith to actually behave in that same manner. I mean, haven't you learned that people are actually different? That people actually handle situations differently? And people should not actually be like you, or people do not always have to live up to your expectations. I mean, guys, see, for this entire episode, Tania's confessionals were just so drab, sounded very, very dense, and quite disappointing. And as I said before, guys, from the way Tania carries on with her confessionals, you could just tell that this person does not really have a personality that she's ready to actually show. She's just like a shadow, Iyabo's shadow, Chioma's shadow. Oh, I don't want to offend anybody. Oh, I want to be in everybody's good books. I'm like, how about having a mind of your own and actually seeing things beyond the bubble that you live in? How about that? This last scene really got on my nerves. Now, it was still Iyabo's African-themed dinner party, and they had their fun. So Iyabo brought up conversations about, oh, Dr. Rommel, you still are owing us, I think, an apology for keeping us waiting for 5 hours. And then boom, it was like a dam broke. Dr. Rommel just literally went on and on and on about how it wasn't his fault, how it was all Faith. Oh, they supposedly were supposed to, you know, organize the event together, but then he did all the work without, you know, as much as little input from Faith. It was just going on and on and on. But then Laura asked him a question, that did you talk to her about it? He said that he hasn't seen her in over a week. And she's like, okay, did you call Faith to talk about it? He was like, in my defense, I just felt like there was no need to call her. Why? Oh, because I did all the work and then I was expecting her to call me. He was just going on and on. Like, guys, Dr. Rommel was just literally, you know, hanging their dirty linen in public, their private business in public. And you could tell that Chioma was uncomfortable. And at that point in time, I realized that, oh, wow, Chioma, you still have your own, you still have a sense of self in you. At least we can see that. Because Chioma would not like such a conversation. Yeah. So you could tell that she was uncomfortable. So she kept on going on and on about, oh, and both of you can talk about it later in private. Both of you can talk about it later in private. But he was still going on and on. And then, as if trying to declare his allegiance to Iyabo, to Chioma, to any other person right there, whilst he was explaining how disappointed he was in the way Faith had actually, in quotes, betrayed him via that event, he was like, oh, he doubts if they will ever co-host an event together again. And as he was talking, he was looking at Iyabo, he was looking at Faith. And guys, you see, the beauty about this whole scenario was how calm, how collected, and how quiet Faith was. Now, Laura had said during a confessional that Faith had already told her that she does not want to engage in any altercation with Dr. Rommel. Hence her silence, because she does not want to cause another scene, you know, at Iyabo's event. And Dr. Rommel was just, guys, I cringed. Toyin was once again disappointed, because for her, why are you bringing your private issues with your friend to public? Why are you telling everybody? It goes to say a lot about who you really are. And guys, I cannot, but guys, I totally agree with Toyin. As the reason I said at the start of this video, that friends like Dr. Rommel, put them in the trash bag, throw them away. In fact, if you don't even want to waste your trash bag, just literally bundle them and trash them away. A friend that would gladly and eagerly and comfortably throw you, like trash talk you, throw you under the bus to people that she has already complained to you at testing your patience. If that is not desperation and betrayal, please give me another name for it. And then there was Mariam talking about, if your friend is complaining about you like this, then it goes to tell a lot about who you are. I'm like, Mariam, it just goes to validate that question Faith asked about Mariam in the previous episode. That is she intelligent? Because guys, I re-ask and co-ask that question again. Is she really intelligent? Because if really she was intelligent like that on this show, guys, she should be analyzing Dr. Rommel's personality. That for him to be so comfortable and eager to spill and trash talk Faith to people that his friend is having issues with, then it goes to say a lot about his own personality. That he's a fair weather friend, that he's a social climber, that he's very, very ambitious, negatively ambitious, very, very desperate, you know, to win over these high class, you know, big spending Lagos women, these Lagos housewives, you know, to sell his market, to promote his business. If that wasn't very, very obvious for Mariam to see, then she has a lot of relearning to do. In fact, I don't even expect much from all what she has displayed on the show from season 1. Anyways, guys, Faith did not indulge Dr. Rommel, and the night ended on a good note. And then we saw snippets from the next episode of both of them sitting down to have conversations. And guys, I was just so sad. I said, nah, left from you, there is no conversation to be had between myself and such a friend. That friendship will be over long, long, long ago. That's it. But anyways, guys, I've said all I want to say. I would love to hear from all of you, so please go ahead, share your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow 3 p.m. WAT during our live conversation on here. All right, in the meantime, have an amazing evening. Bye.